Hey there, it's Chris once again. Welcome back to another video. And this is a request assigned from a good friend of mine named Rick. And he wanted me to review the remake of Evil Dead. Now, I rewatched this like 3 weeks ago. I forgot to put this in my February, what I watched for February video, but and this movie is honestly one of my favorite remakes of horror movies ever. I think it's such a fun film. It's gory as all hell. But getting to the plot, it's basically about this girl named what's her name? Forget her name. Mia, that's her name. And her and her friends go to a cabin with her brother. And you know the drill. She gets attacked by some kind of creature, and then this snake thing pulls up her. Yeah. And she gets possessed. And she starts possessing people by biting people, scratching people, or just vomiting in people's mouths, which is, I mean, she possesses people in different ways. And soon, everybody's possessed, and she kicks some ass at the end of the movie. She becomes unpossessed. She gets resurrected. But the thing about this movie is, to me, the acting's way better than the original. The effects are way better. Even though I do have a soft spot for the original Evil Dead, but to me, it's just a cheesy, sloggy movie. The acting isn't great besides Bruce Campbell. The tree rape scene was a bit gross. So, this one has a way more. The tree rape scene isn't as graphic. She gets like hooked, or she gets grabbed by a bunch of these branches. And then this thing throws up this snake, then it crawls up her crotch. That's how she gets possessed. And I really like the actors playing in this movie. Other than Jane Levy, I can't remember the actors' names. But obviously the gore is the biggest set piece in this movie. The special effects are great. Like, there's a scene where Mia vomits in one girl's mouth, who is a nurse, so she fixes her up, and then she gets possessed. There's a scene where a dog gets killed, which I wasn't a fan of. I don't like animal deaths in movies, especially when they're unnecessary. But they find a bunch of dead cats in their basement, which I'm not a fan of because I love cats. Plus, we have a bunch of kittens in this house as we speak. The beginning, I forgot the beginning of this. I forgot to tell about the beginning of this movie. It basically starts with this girl. She's possessed. She's tied up, and she gets shot in the head, and her head blows up. So right off the bat, you're getting like the graphicness of this movie, but some of the gore effects are really good. There's a scene where the nurse girl's like carving her mouth open, kind of like Jeff the Killer, and then you see her mouth is cut open. You see her teeth hanging out, pretty gross. And then the guy with the glasses who read the book, he basically tells her to something. She jumps on him and stabs him with a fucking needle in his eyes, and he pulls a needle out of his fucking eye. Brutal. And he just bashes her head in with a fucking toilet seat, and her head is basically a mush pumpkin, and they think, oh, it's because she's sick. It's because she's. I'm like, what? I didn't care for the supposedly Ash character. Is he? Oh, he was she was sick. She wasn't ill. She was ill. I'm like, even the guy with the glasses was like, what kind of sickness makes a person rip off their face with a piece of glass? I'm like, yeah, idiot. She possesses another girl in the cabin by biting her hand, and then her hand becomes like possessed and rotten. And the girl who gets possessed, Mia, she's in the cellar like in the original, and she's like, cut it, no, don't cut it. And then she's like cutting her arm with a fucking meat cutter, and it's slow and painful torture. And then later they find her, and her arm is hanging by their tendons, and then her arm just falls off. My God. And then she gets possessed. She starts shooting everybody with a nail gun through their hands. She chops somebody's hands in half when they're left like this. And she gets shot in the head, dies. What else happens? I'm sorry, guys. I'm a bit new to this movie again. Then what happens after that? I forget. But it's later in the movie, the guy with the glasses gets possessed. And then when Mia and her brother go off to drive, but he gets his car keys, goes back in the house, and then he gets stabbed in the neck. Dies by possessed glasses guy. And the whole house goes up in flames because he set the house on fire with gasoline, and the whole house blows up. And then the demon, after she gets resurrected, she's fine now. A demon comes back up from the ground, and it's chasing her. She chops its legs off, and the car like falls on her fucking hand. And she has to rip her fucking hand off, and she rips it off, and see tendons and bones and shit. Oh, it was gross. And she takes a fucking chainsaw, goes up to the demon, and she's like, "I'll eat your soul." I'm like, "Eat this motherfucker!" And she just rams a fucking chainsaw into its fucking head, and it goes up, and the head like opens like a flower. Really cool stuff. And by the way, it was raining gallons and gallons of blood during this scene. I forgot to say that. Gallons of blood. It was awesome. And then Mia basically walks off to the sunset, and boom, that's the end of the movie. There is an alternate ending of the movie, which I did not see, but it's on the special features on the DVD. But this movie was fucking insane. Her brother and the glasses guy, they didn't really get that much of a death. One got stabbed in the neck, and the other just got blown up in the house. But I gotta say, the special effects are the biggest set pieces of this fucking movie. They're so good. They're so grotesque and gory and brutal. And it's just amazing. The actors are...
Hey, you got a box of crayons?
Sorry guys, I really wanted something, but I forgot what I was going to say. But like I said, the actors are really good. The girl playing Mia is really good. It was a well-shot movie as well. Made you feel very dirty, very gross. The music is good in this movie too. I like the soundtrack as well. You do get a cameo from Bruce Campbell where you see his face and it's like set like a desk lamp shining on his face, and it goes like groovy and it looks at the camera. Like, I didn't like that because he could. You didn't. The biggest thing people hate about this movie is there's no Bruce Campbell. I'm like, what's a remake? I mean, people complain about the Chucky remake because there's no Brad Dourif. I'm like, well, doesn't mean it's a bad movie just because they change the actors. Or because, I mean, even I shit on the Elm Street remake because of Robert Englund not playing Freddy Krueger. I'm like, yeah, I don't care. I mean, but Elm Street remake is more of a bad movie than just the actor playing Freddy. That movie's got a whole lot of problems. But this movie doesn't, in my opinion. I think all the actors did a fantastic job. Jane Levy was great as a final girl. She was also very pretty. The actors, they did alright. I did like her relationship with her brother was kind of sweet. When he gave her his necklace, and yeah. But yeah, the gore effects are way better than the original. The acting's way better. And they just modernized the movie a bit. I don't like this cover because she doesn't really scream like that, and she does scream like that, but that looks nothing like Jane Levy. I wish they went with this cover with her in the end of the movie. But I remember the marketing for this movie when it came out was really hyped. Like, the movie can't be that good. I'm like, it was really good. I did not see it in theaters, but I did see it when it came out. And it scared the crap out of me when I first saw it. But yeah, that is the Evil Dead remake. I really enjoy this movie. The thing is better than remakes like Friday the 13th, The Blob, The Thing, The Fly, remakes like that. No, but no remakes are perfect. Not even those. But it's fun, it's gory, it's creepy, it's action-packed, you're definitely rooting for the main character to beat the demons and kill them in a brutal way, and she did. So I love this movie. But yeah, what are your thoughts on the Evil Dead remake? Let me know about that in the comments below. Thank you so much, Rick, for your kindness on my Instagram. Thank y'all for watching. Take care, and I'll see y'all in the next one.